Amen. I want to talk for a few minutes about when Jacob met his match. When Jacob met his match. I stopped reading there because there's an introduction into the next clause, sentence structure there in 29. You read on to 21, and you'll see that Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may lie with her. The deception began there through, amen, his kinfolk, Uncle Laban. And it's just a reminder to all of us this morning that we have to be careful of how we meander. We have to be careful of how we treat folk. Amen. We have to be careful of how we stand in the circle of character and be willing to deal with the implications of the thing that you do as others watch you, particularly your children. Amen. And you better know somebody's watching you. Amen. Good, bad, or indifferent. At the beginning, in the middle, or the end. Somebody have their eyes on you and your character and who you represent. And it ought to have a time of balance and meeting. Who you say you represent ought to show up in your life. All right. Jacob was a deceiver, but amen. He had a point of spiritual deposit in his life that caused him to operate in and through deception. All right. Well, you know, I told you in one of the messages, now he learned that, amen, from his father. Amen. He learned that at home. The foundation was there. And be you very sure this morning that the things that we do, amen, before our young people, it has a way of coming back. Amen. It went like this in the nomenclature of the streets. What goes around has a way of coming back around. Yeah. You don't have to wait long. It just has a way of showing up. Amen. That's why you ought to treat folk like, amen, you want to be treated without deception. Amen. Well, amen. Yeah. Amen. I've said it, and I'll say it again. Listen, one of the biggest sins that permeates our culture, even the culture of the church, is the sin of deception. Amen. All right, we're going to talk about it. When you recognize that, brothers and sisters, it moves. It should move you. It moves me. It moved the biblical character here, Jacob. Amen. And he had to deal with it. Amen. How do you handle deception? Well, you deal with it. Amen. How do you handle it? You deal with it for what it is. Amen. Call it what it is. Don't play with it. Right. Amen. Don't wink at it. But amen. Understand its worth. Understand its pitfalls. Understand what it can do for and against you if you're not careful. Come on. Y'all praying with me? I recognize that. Amen. Well, Jacob met his master. Amen. The Lord orchestrated it. And listen, he didn't have time, amen, to wiggle his way away from the atmospheric conditions that brought about a time where he would meet somebody who was slicker than he was. Well, you just have to know that today. Amen. Yeah, slickness run deep in a whole lot of different areas. Amen. Amen. You're not the only one that have tricks up your sleeve. Amen. Yeah. Amen. There's somebody out there that's always thinking a little quicker, a little smarter. Amen. Well, amen. One's always hand is a little quicker than the eye. That's what it is. It's always got an opportunity to make you blink, and when you blink, amen, that you see, you really don't see. Yeah. Amen. Amen. That you hear, you really don't hear. All right. You have to recognize what's really at stake when the circumstances come full circle in your life and in my life. And I think that's a key principle for us to grab hold to this morning as we trek our way on through the life of old Jacob. He had a time, I'm telling you. Yes, he did. And it started, I told you, it started at his home. And that's where the seed was planted. Then you get to chapter 29 and chapter 30 and chapter 31, and you discover that Jacob had already been exiled. 29 through 31, he's there. And listen, for 20 years, he was banished. Yeah, because of his deceptive foundation.
Right.
I'm telling you the truth. If you're not careful, that you, amen, embrace and glean and hold on to as necessary in your life for success and survival, you better be careful about it, because if it doesn't honor God, amen, if it's not upright, if it's not standing on all fours, if it's got any zigzag in it, you better recognize that it has an opportunity to make its way back to you. And for 14 years after being in exile, Jacob, he was there, and he said, listen, I'll do what I need to do. 14 years in exile, amen, there he is with 2 wives, amen, unauthorized by God. I would say sovereignly, amen, the Lord allowed it sovereignly, but when you read on through the context, the Lord put a period there after that, because he wanted Jacob to understand, listen, here he is with 2 wives. He's going to serve 14 years with 2 wives, and then 6 of those years for the flocks of his own kind. Then the word moves us forward in the narrative to where we recognize Jacob. He's there. He had met his match in Uncle Laban. Oh, yeah. Y'all ain't helping me. You better be careful of your kinfolk. Amen. And sometimes they got some characteristics in there. Amen. That you didn't really recognize it at first, but amen, as you mature and get older, the Lord will allow you, amen, through, amen, eyes of wisdom to see more now than what you did before. I wish I had somebody here. You see, you weren't able to recognize it earlier on because you were too green. You were too immature. You weren't ready for it. You couldn't handle it. You couldn't have handled it then. But the Lord got a way of allowing you and I to, amen, to mature and march on a little bit to where we have an opportunity and season in our life to where we're able, amen, to witness more, amen, than what we could in time past. That may not do much for you this morning. But I tell you, hindsight is 20/20. When I look at the Lord today, amen, I don't look at the Lord like I did 20 years ago. Why? Because the Lord got a way of moving you up the gauge, centimeter by millimeter. He got a way of moving you up. And you better know God don't just move for moving's sake, but he's moving you for a greater purpose in your life and in the life of the folk that are around you, and especially your children. It means something, brothers and sisters, in this day and time where we placate and play church too much and we don't model the right thing before our young people. And we got a revolving door. Amen. Every time I mention revolving door, I think about H.L. Green. I think that's the first place where I saw a revolving door. Some of y'all ain't helping me. But, this was before dark. I'm talking about when there was, when it was DTS. Ride downtown. That's the first stop we got off was H.L. Green. The revolving door. The door just kept on moving, And like the church door, they just keep on moving. Folk in and out. They won't, deception has a cloud over them, and they just can't rest. Their minds are uneasy, they're restless, there's no secure, amen. There's no sustenance, no steadiness in their lives. You see them one Sunday, first Sunday, you don't see them again to the fourth Sunday. You don't see them after the fourth Sunday, you see them again first Sunday. After the first Sunday, you see them third Sunday. They odd and even Sunday folk. Y'all doing real well. Because those of you odd and even folk, amen, thank you for showing up. Amen. When the even folk ain't here, you here. Appreciate you. Y'all didn't hear from me. God got a way, of steadying your hand. Y'all with me right there. Jacob met his match in old crooked Uncle Laban. He was there. He was there. The Laban, he reminded, there it was, Rachel. She looked better, amen. Rachel looked good. She was a fine thing, but she couldn't have no children. Are y'all with me here? Yeah, and there he is, got all these, and then there she comes along, and she was trying to win the affection of her husband by having all of these children. Jacob had 12 sons, you remember, right? I'll call them out to y'all one time. This is a reminder, and you go on through the chapter, you'll see each son that came out, was supposed to be a supplement, if you will, for success in their relationship, but it never worked out. Why? Because deception has a way of returning the, amen. I said, deception has a way of returning the favor. You ought to recognize that this morning as you continue, amen, to recognize, amen, this whole tragedy and travesty of running away. Some of y'all like the temptation, runaway child, the runaway child running wild. You need to go back home where you belong. You ought to go way on back to the house of God. God got a place for you, but you playing church so much. You wondering when your change gonna come. You missed the change that's already come, but you didn't change with it. That's why you're frustrated, you're fruitlessness. You can't, amen, move beyond the right now, and you're hanging around the periphery of barely enough. And listen, God is greater than that. Did y'all hear me? The God of the Bible got much more, amen, than you and I can comprehend for his church. And when you recognize that, you ain't got to wait on nobody else. Amen. You can move into the circle of praise all by yourself. And have yourself a good old time. Have I got a witness here? Yeah, she was unloved. She was an unloved wife. And she was there. And each of them, each new son that came along, 12 sons Jacob had. And they called them Jacob's dozen. They were all there. But each one of them had an issue. And that issue stemmed, from the foundation of the home. Jacob, there he is. He's caught between a rock and a hard place. There he is. How in the world am I going to get out of this country? How am I going to move to a point and place where I can magnify the God of my salvation? As I close, Jacob's name means to struggle with God. In other words, that's his name. In essence, that's what his name means. He's struggling with God. And I'll close out the series next time, because when Jacob meets God, I tell you, God is going to change his name. In other words, God's going to ask him, Jacob, what's your name? Like God didn't know what his name was. You know why he asked him? Because the first time he asked him what his name was, he lied about it. You know, like some folks, they love to tell a lie before the truth is plain to see. God got a way of getting it out of you. Have I got any company in here? I said, God got a way of getting it out of you. You all know by now that you'll meet your match. Amen. Your match will come, In other words, you will learn today. You will. You will recognize that God, get you off your belly and he'll stand you upright. Yes, he will. You may have slithered in this morning, but I guarantee you, you ain't got to slither out. I said, God's got a way. Ain't nobody do it like he can. God will bring you to a crossroads in your trekking with him. He'll bring you to a fork in the road to where you recognize God is me or you. Either I'm going to live for you or I'm going to die for you. I got a witness. Oh, bless his name. He made his match, y'all. Some of us need to recognize you keep on moving and meandering away from God. You keep on moving in shadowiness and moving in shadiness.